Welcome, everyone, to the Sunday Morning Marxist Forum. This session is being recorded and will be posted on YouTube with the link on our website, which is icssmarx.org, within the next few days. ICSS stands for the Institute for the Critical Study of Society. For a decade and a half, our sessions were held at the Marxist Library in Oakland, California. Now we host our sessions on Zoom, and I should say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, as we have speakers and attendees from around the United States and throughout the world. My name is Sharon, and I'm today's moderator. I'm a member of the ICSS program committee that organizes the forum. Our committee always welcomes input, feedback, and suggestions for topics and speakers, and you can contact us through our website, again, icssmarx.org. This is a comradely forum for political discourse and debate. As such, we ask that you show respect for our participants and the moderator of today's session. Please note that the opinions expressed are those of the speaker and participants. They do not necessarily represent those of ICSS. However, we are united in our respect for the work of Karl Marx, and we believe that his work remains relevant today. Our motto is taken from Marx's 11 Theses on Feuerbach. The philosophers have interpreted the world in various ways. The point, however, is to change it. Our program today is entitled Haiti Today Through an Anti-Imperialist Lens. Our speaker, Pierre Labossiere, will provide an update on the current situation in Haiti. He will explain who the players are and debunk media narratives about the nature of so-called gangs in Haiti that have been overtly supported by imperialist and outside forces tied to the, quote, core group and their Haitian collaborators. The self-appointed core group, with representatives from the US, France, Canada, Brazil, Germany, Spain, EU, and OAS, is de facto governing Haiti at present. I'm going to call on Marilyn Langlois to introduce Pierre. Marilyn is a longtime Haiti solidarity activist who has been with the Haiti Action Committee for over 20 years and has traveled to Haiti 4 times. She is also on the board of the Haiti Emergency Relief Fund and brings the voice of Haiti to the board of the Task Force on the Americas. I'd also like to mention that Janet Coburn has been very instrumental in organizing today's forum as well. Marilyn, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sharon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Pierre Labossiere has dedicated his life to supporting Haitian people's struggle for dignity and empowerment. Born and raised in the south of Haiti, his family came to the U.S. around 50 years ago during the height of the Papa Doc Duvalier dictatorship. Since then, he has been back to Haiti many times and remains in close contact with community leaders and grassroots activists in the areas of agriculture, small business enterprises, labor, education, healthcare, and political organizing, in addition to key national figures, including former President Jean-Bertrand Aristide, his wife Mildred Trouillot Aristide, and the current head of the Famille Lavalas Party, Dr. Maryse Narcisse. After the 1991 US-backed coup d'etat against President Aristide, Pierre co-founded the Haiti Action Committee, which engages in solidarity activities, raises awareness, and aims to change the US government's imperialistic attitudes and actions against Haiti. He also co-founded the Haiti Emergency Relief Fund to provide material support for local projects undertaken by Haitians to uplift their communities and resist ongoing repression fueled by outside imperial powers. I first met Pierre shortly after the second US-backed coup d'etat against President Aristide in 2004, and have been a member of the Haiti Action Committee and a board member of the Haiti Emergency Relief Fund ever since. Note that the Haiti Emergency Relief Fund has essentially zero overhead, and all funds raised go directly to people on the ground in Haiti. Pierre Labossiere is one of the most principled and honorable people I know. He has devoted countless volunteer hours over many decades to promoting solidarity with his country of origin. Professionally, he works as an agricultural inspector for the state of California, and I know that a good chunk of his paychecks regularly goes to our brothers and sisters in Haiti, all of whom are guided by the Creole motto of tout monde c'est monde. Every person is a human being who deserves a place at the table and to participate in building their society. And as Sharon said, I also want to acknowledge frequent ICSS participant Janet Cobran for proposing and giving impetus to bringing Pierre here today. After the talk, Janet will kick off the discussion during the Q&A session. So without further ado, I give you my good friend and comrade, Pierre Labossiere.
Thank you very, very much, Marilyn, for such a generous introduction. Really appreciate you as a friend. We've been along this journey together, this journey of solidarity with the people of Haiti and people engaged in different struggles worldwide. So very much value you and appreciate you. I want to thank the ICSS for inviting me, and for Janet Coburn and you to have organized this. Thank you, each and every one. So I'm just so overwhelmed and touched by your presentation. I want to also, someone very dear comes to my mind this morning, and that's Caroline Scar, who many of you may know. And Caroline is once again, long-term Haiti Action Committee member. She participated in the founding of the organization in the year, I believe, when we first got together around supporting Haiti, the Haitian people struggle back in 1991, and formally became the Haiti Action Coalition in 92. So since that time, we've been working closely together. Caroline recently left us. She departed. And so hats off to Caroline, who's been a key member of Ecumenical Peace Institute, engaged in stopping the proliferation of nuclear weapons. She was frequently at Livermore demonstrating. So the topic today, as you had mentioned, is about Haiti through an imperialistic view. So I want to start with some slide. There is a slide presentation I'd like to start with, and I'll be commenting using the various slides. So if you don't mind, the first slide. Okay, while the first slide is getting ready to be shown, I just want to mention that since this is a varied audience, many people may be familiar with the Haitian Revolution. So besides that, people always jump in from the Haitian Revolution into Haiti, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. And Marilyn, as you have stated, Haiti is not the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Haiti is one of the most robbed countries in the Western Hemisphere. And I think this is very important. So I'll try to bring this up to date. What has happened when Haiti became independent, what the struggle has been about. And if we start off with looking at it, Haiti came to everyone's consciousness back in 1492. That's how they claim the story begins there. But I always go back to the original inhabitants, the Tainos and the Arawa people who inhabited the island that part of it is called Haiti. Part of it is the Dominican Republic. We share the island with the Dominican Republic. But altogether, the place was known in the original name as Haiti. It had three names, Quisqueya or Boyo. That's how the original people used to refer to it. And Christopher Columbus mentioned in his journals that he was told that people from Africa used to visit the island by the inhabitants. And this is something you don't see in the history books too often. Professor Ivan von Swatzima talked about that at length. And the reason I bring it up is because they usually, when I say they, I mean people who teach history or in the history books, the majority, I would say, they mention the term Columbus discovered. And I know for this audience, we know that it was an invasion, that Christopher Columbus invaded this island, and that was the first imperialistic, I would say, interaction and attempt to dominate the people of this island. And that was, it resulted in a genocidal war against the indigenous people. And that genocidal war bred, of course, resistance. And one of the people in the first slide I wanted to mention is a woman. You'll see a woman figure. Her name is Catherine Flon. She's well known in Haitian history. And there she is showing the Haitian flag. It has two colors, the blue and the red. But she represents also the woman, the indigenous Taino woman called Anacaona, who was one of the chieftains who led one of the entities, political entities on the island at the time, and who stood and fought against the Spanish, and they killed her. So Catherine Flon is during the time of 1791, the Haitian Revolution. If we can go to the next slide. Yes, I want to situate Haiti. And the reason I started by mentioning the women, it's because when I was a boy in school in the 60s in Haiti, the women were mentioned. There was no way not to mention them, but their leadership role was significantly reduced or minimized. And so one of the things that we've been doing that has been taking place in Haiti recently is by the people's movement, and particularly President Aristide, has been to uphold, to celebrate the leadership of the women in the founding of Haiti, their role as leaders in the revolution, and their role currently to rebuild a new Haiti. So I wanted to, for people who may not know where Haiti is located, you can see in this map that's being shared, Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Haiti is very close to Cuba, to Jamaica, Puerto Rico, and also facing the South America. And so we are neighbors to Venezuela and some others, as you can see in the map, and very close to the US. Haiti played a major role during that period. If we can go to the next slide. Yes, and this is a closer look. If you can see, Guantanamo, Cuba is right there, and Haiti. But we share a common history also of resistance to colonialism with Cuba, because there is a little island there. When you see on the map Port-au-Prince, there's a little island called, and it's called La Gonave, right across the bay. And this is where the famous Cuban hero Atual, who people are very familiar with, was born. And he fled the Spanish invasion. He fought against them. Then he fled and went to Cuba along with many of his comrades. And while there, he tried to warn the Cubans, the Cuban Tainos, that of what the Spanish had done, and they should prepare the resistance. But it was so egregious what had happened, so horrible, that it's reported that not too many people paid attention. And eventually the Spanish conquistadors, they came to Cuba, and eventually they killed Atual. So we share this long history of anti-imperialist aggression, anti-imperialist genocidal war against our people. So I wanted to mention that specifically. So if we can go to the next slide. This particular ceremony, throughout the Spanish and throughout the Spanish period, the French buccaneers, the French pirates, were making inroads in the island. And so over time, by 1697, the French took over the western third of the island, and there was a treaty that settled it between this, where it was split between Spain and the French. So for the next 100 years, from 1697 till about 1791, the French conducted a system of kidnapping our foremothers and forefathers, enslaving them, working them very brutally, so that they were, and killing them in the process, because this brutal work was killing our people, just like it killed many of the Taínos and Arawaks. And so what happened is people were resisting as well. And they found it cheaper to import, to bring in more kidnapped Africans to be enslaved. And so that's why during the time of 1791, at the time of the Haitian Revolution, more Africans had been born who were enslaved, were born in Africa. And so the majority of them, about 2/3, according to various historians, had been born in Africa. Why I want to bring this out? For people who grew up in the 60s like myself, around 1,000 movies, and the concept of the dark continent and what have you, all these racist concepts, they usually present the Africans as people who were just running loose in the jungle, had no background or not from stable societies. Many of the people who they had kidnapped and enslaved were people like us, teachers, agriculturalists, farmers, engineers, doctors, religious leaders, and so on and so forth. So this idea of living under slavery was something that they hated from their very being. Also, they were from societies that were organized differently. And so their dream was to come together, break their chains, declare their independence, to free the land, and to rebuild and to build a society that would be based on equality. This particular Congress / religious ceremony, in it there are two figures, one woman, you can see a woman there, and also Bookman. The woman is Cécile Fatima. She was one of the leaders of the movement who had organized this Congress among all the leaders of the communities of the enslaved, and many of the Maroons came. And the other one is Bookman Doty, the man who was originally enslaved in Jamaica, and they sold him to the French plantations in Haiti, in Saint-Domingue at the time. That's how the French called it. And they were the co-leaders who convened this meeting. And at this meeting, Bookman pronounced a prayer, which Reverend Lorenzo Carlyle, who many of you may know, had stated that it was a powerful statement of liberation theology. I want to bring this out to let you know, again, to humanize the enslaved, the kidnapped and enslaved Africans, and how they got their story and how they got their movement together. And it was, and he invoked many people. If you watch Hollywood movies, they call it voodoo in Hollywood, and make people scared. No, Vodun is from an African language. The word means spirit, and Vodou is the religion of most Haitian people. And it was thanks to the religion of Vodou that our humanity as a people, as an enslaved people, was kept alive, reminding us of who we are. And in his prayer, Bookman called on this spirituality. He called on the powers that we have, the divinity within us, to liberate ourselves. Whereas the Christianity, which was being taught to the enslaved Africans, was one of resignation. Or Bookman, the African spirituality, called on them that they were not made to be anybody's slave. And it kept alive the flame that they are free human beings. And so, next slide. Yeah, so after a 13-year war, Haiti declared itself independent under the leadership of first Toussaint Louverture and then Dessalines. Bookman had been killed and Haiti became an independent nation. And what's important is that Haiti declared itself a sanctuary nation, inviting people in struggle from different parts of the world who would break, if they broke their chains, if they could make their way to Haiti, Haiti would defend their freedom. Another thing I want to mention, Haiti was also very significant during that period in a number of struggles. People from like Simon Bolivar in South America was fighting against the Spanish. Simon Bolivar came to Haiti and asked for help, and he received help assistance ships a printing press from the Haitian government. And so Simon Bolivar went back and was able to overturn Spanish colonialism. So the revolution in Haiti, which established Haiti in 1804, really was against slavery, breaking the chains of slavery, and secondly, against colonialism, where it launched that an all-out attack against the whole system of colonialism and slavery. And Haiti remained a leader at that time in the anti-slavery struggle worldwide. And bringing it to the 1915, but during this time, Haiti had faced many assaults and attacks by people trying to bring Haiti, imperialist forces trying to bring to disappear Haiti as a nation. The U.S., for example, joined with the French way back in 1803, and we are talking about Jefferson here, Thomas Jefferson, who wanted to destroy Haiti, and he gave the French a lot of money to try to restore slavery. Let's remember that Thomas Jefferson was a plantation owner, and his plantation functioned by enslaving people. So many people, blacks in the U.S., heard about the Haitian Revolution, and they were inspired by it. There were many revolutions in the U.S., rebellions, rebellions by enslaved people in the U.S., but they were inspired and they felt if Haiti could do it, so could we. And this kind of example was something that had to be destroyed. And in so doing, the French later on asked the U.S. to support a blockade of Haiti, an economic blockade. That sounds familiar to today's economic blockade of Cuba. And so at that time, the U.S. refused to recognize the independence of Haiti and impose an embargo for the next 60 years until 1862, when the U.S. finally, because of the changes taking place during the Civil War and the entry of the people, the majority population, into the Civil War, it changed U.S. foreign policy. And U.S. foreign policy, they agreed to recognize Haiti's independence. Again, the reason I'm bringing this up, it's not just history that happened years ago, but it's because of the present-day reality and how connected this thing is, how connected the present is to the past, and how we are reliving a lot of the present. Haiti was very supportive. Our foremothers and forefathers were very supportive. For example, in the movement for Greek liberation, I found out about this a few years back when someone from Greece told me how Haiti had provided a shipload of coffee to the Greeks who were fighting for independence after they had requested Haiti's help. Haiti couldn't send them guns and ammunition, but it said that shipload of coffee would be, they could sell it and buy themselves some guns and ammunition. Lastly, I want to stress that during the Haitian Revolution, Napoleon had conscripted a number of troops from Poland and Germany, and so to restore slavery. But these European soldiers became very conscious once they were on the ground, and they joined with the Africans and turned their guns against Napoleon. So if we can move to the next slide, then I'll mention the U.S. counter-revolution in Haiti. Okay, 1915, the U.S. was expanding as a regional power and decided to invade Haiti because they wanted hegemony over the resources of the country. So what you are seeing in this photo here, on the photo to your left, is a Haitian peasant who was part of a people's army against the U.S. occupation. They landed in July 1915, and Haitian peasants organized into a people's army under the leadership of Charlemagne Péralte, and they fought the U.S. occupation for many years. The U.S. used aerial bombing against them as well to try to destroy. It's been estimated that over 20,000 Haitians were killed. And this started, there was a loss of the land of the peasants. They were expropriated from their lands, and many peasants had to flee and they were, and that was the beginning of the mass forced migration of Haitians away from Haiti to go work in the sugarcane plantations of Cuba, which were owned by the US, and also the forced migration to the Dominican Republic to work in the sugarcane plantations and the sugar industry in the Dominican Republic. So what we are seeing here from 1915 until today, it's been a complete domination of Haiti by the US government, by US imperialist forces, particularly in we are talking Wall Street here. And the photo to the right was the late President Jovenel Moïse. Well, he wasn't, Haitians do not consider him their president because it was a fraudulent election imposed on the people of Haiti. And so that's who he has a photo with President Trump during the first Trump administration. He was assassinated in, I believe, in 2021, and this wasn't anything that was done by the people of Haiti, but it was really, according to various sources, because of his differences with the people who were very corrupt people with whom he was dealing, because he was steeped in the corruption. So I see that the slides are not moving, so I'll try to bring it to the present. So what we are dealing with today, Haiti continues to be under, oh, there it is. Okay, thank you. The US invasion and occupation, it lasted from 1950 to 1934. These are US Marines in action against the Capos, who was the name of the peasant army of resistance. If we can move the slide. So this is another result of the US occupation, the dictatorship of Duvalier. And I want to bring this up particularly. Duvalier relied on a group of people called the Tonton Macoutes, and these were organized along, similar to the Nazis. And these were very brutal. That's when I was growing up, very brutal folks terrorizing the population. And today, what you're seeing about gangs in Haiti, it's a name to confuse people. When they call them gang, people assume that these are outlaws, people who, they assume it's like gangs in the US and the government is fighting against them. No, this is really a misnomer. In Haiti, they are they are a rebirth of the Tonton Macoute death squads. And they are the Haitian oligarchy. The Haitian ruling elite is funding these people and providing them with the weapons, the ammunition, and all the guns that they have to terrorize the population, to break the back of the people movement. Very similar to what the Tonton Macoutes were doing. These are not your average street gangs. These are political organized paramilitary death squads at the service of imperialism and at the service of the Haitian elite and the Haitian government, which is created by the Haitian elite. If we can move to the next slide. And what has happened in Haiti? During that period, we had a brief period of popular democracy. I would say 10 years of popular democracy. And people can go on our website, HaitiSolidarity.net. We have produced a brochure called "We Will Not Forget the Achievements of Lavalas in Haiti." And here is the photo to the right, is people demonstrating and showing a poster of President Aristide. During his exile, the second exile, President Aristide went to school in South Africa, where he was exiled for 7 years, and he pursued his studies, earning a doctorate, of which Haitians were very proud. And so they took a photo of his graduation, and they were marching in the demonstrations with it. And because our people believe in education, we believe in providing education to our people, and an education that's based on what we call it a mental decolonization. It's a big campaign in Haiti, and it's based on a book that President Aristide has written called Philosophical Reflections for Mental Decolonization. I highly recommend that book. Next slide, please. These are photos of the US coup and invasion. This is the second coup. It was organized by Bush the son, and as Haitians call him Baby Bush, they call his father who did the first coup against the Aristide government in 1991. After 7 months in office, they call him Papa Bush, a reference to Papa Doc, and the younger Bush is called Baby Bush by Haitians. So it's showing U.S. Marines threatening people with those big guns as people were opposed to the invasion and the overthrow of President Aristide, the kidnapping of President Aristide. Next slide, please. This is another slide of the UN. The UN during that time has been used as an army of occupation, not to bring peace, as they call themselves peacekeepers, but really to impose and to make sure that the coup government, the illegal, legitimate coup regime imposed by the US, France, and Canada against the Haitian people, they guaranteed that it would remain intact, and it would then be, and the people, no matter how well organized they were, that they wouldn't be able to overturn this new, the coup and return President Aristide to Haiti. That's what they were there for, and showing you a tank of the UN. It wasn't there to protect the people of Haiti. Actually, many massacres, quite a number of massacres, were conducted by UN forces, headed, by the way, by Brazil. Brazil was in charge of the UN military presence in Haiti. And it's shameful that Lula participated in this. Not that he didn't know, he knew, because there were many filmmakers, people like Kevin Pina, who did a documentary on that. They made sure that they let people in Brazil know, and also the parliament of Brazil. But Lula wouldn't pay attention to what the people of Haiti were saying, nor the people in Brazil. Next slide, please. And this is the resistance that continued in Haiti during the 7 years of exile of President Aristide. People on the street demanding President Aristide's return. Next slide, please. This is one of the massacres that took place. This is a mother and her 2 children. They were in their homes, and the UN started firing. This took place on July 6, 2005. And this mother and her 2 babies were gunned down by UN troops. And we have another video, but it's very graphic, but I can provide a link to people. And it shows a series of the massacres that took place in Haiti at the time by UN forces in helicopter gunships, firing down on the people of Cité Soleil in their homes. We are talking about shacks, and when you have an helicopter gunship firing through the roof, these are tin roofs, the bullets just go through it like butter. And so people were killed while in bed. And this is what happened to this family. Next slide, please. And the shift to neocolonial pillar of control, police and paramilitaries. During that time, what the UN forces were doing was so-called professionalizing the Haitian police. And they were providing training for the Haitian police. It was a departure from a police force that President Aristide and the Lavalas government had organized. This was supposed to be, that police force was really providing policing based on the community control of the police. But once it took place, all of that out the window, and the UN and the US and Canada were training forces of repression to repress the Haitian people. And paramilitaries were organized as well as a support of the police in a model similar to what was used between the Haitian military and the Papa Doc and Baby Doc Duvalier, along with the Tomacuts accompanying them. Next slide, please. Yes. One of the things I should add before I forget is one of the reasons for the coup, in addition to President Aristide and the Lavalas government during their brief period in power, and was that they were building housing for people. President Aristide, back in '95, he had disbanded the Haitian military, because 40% of the national budget was going into a useless military that was only good for torturing people, took over their properties, very corrupt, was involved in the drug trade, drug trafficking. So President Aristide and organizing coup d'etats. So the people of Haiti demanded, I was there on site during the period, demanded that disband this military. And it did. And in its place, there became a police force. So the 40% of the national budget was now being invested in building schools, building hospitals, investing in local agricultural production, building this infrastructure of Haiti, so that any little rain that would follow in Haiti would be able to deal with natural emergencies, with natural disasters that would be occurring. So since the coup that took place in 2004, all of that disappeared. The literacy projects disappeared. Everything else has disappeared. The funding for education and for healthcare have been slashed terribly, so that now you have a population that is ill-equipped to deal with things. And when people rise up and demand their rights and demand that the money, their tax money, be used for their well-being, then they are massacred. This is what happened in the community of La Saline. This is La Saline and the human rights crisis in Haiti. You can find this on our website, HaitiSolidarity.net, and you can also find it on the National Lawyers Guild San Francisco chapter website, because the National Lawyers Guild had sent a representative to Haiti, and they conducted an inquiry as to what was going on, and this is their report as to what happened. So this part of massacre was conducted by the Haitian police and paramilitary death squads, and resulted in, according to conservative estimates from the known people they were able to identify, 77 people. However, the number has gone as high as 300 who were massacred in the community of Haiti. And it happened in November 2018. So we are in the during the period of the anniversary of that massacre. Next slide, please. And this is one of the people who had participated in it. His name is Jimmy Cherizier, known as Barbecue, and his group is called Vivre Ensemble. It's a federation of so-called gangs, and many of you may be familiar with that. They have actually destroyed Haiti, but people call it Vivre Ensemble, meaning they live in the blood of the people. That's what they are doing, bloodshed. They are there to attack the people of Haiti, to terrorize people so that people do not take to the streets in protest anymore. And why people protesting? One of the reasons I mentioned for you was also, and I got distracted there and forgot to say that piece, was that President Aristide in 2003, on the anniversary of the death of Toussaint Louverture, he had demanded that the French government returned to Haiti the money that was extorted from the Haitian people. After the revolution, France got together with the US, Spain, Britain, all of them, to demand that Haiti pay reparations to the former plantation owners because they had lost their property. And what was considered their property, it was us, because the French under Napoleon had restored slavery. So they had lost their property. And so all of us, our foremothers and forefathers were part of the property. And they demanded that Haiti pay reparations. So the money came to about 90 million francs, which at the time in 2003, President said that assembled a team of economists and legal experts, and they calculated the amount paid by Haiti, just straight amount, was $21.7 billion. And they demanded that the French return this money. This was not in just rhetoric, because this team of legal experts, this was the first step in bringing a case to the World Court. And that's why that was one major reason for the coup d'etat that took place And this was the New York Times did a piece called Ransom. It's a 4-part series around this issue of the French, the money they extorted from us, and the campaign that launched at the time among the people of Haiti. It was called restitution, reparations. So restitution is the known quantity of money that the French took from us, but the reparations is a different bill. It's a bill for the kidnapping and enslavement of our people for 3 centuries. And so it was separated. So the main focus was restitution. And the French ambassador who was interviewed, you can see that in the New York Times article, he stated that that campaign of restitution was one of the main reasons for the coup d'etat of 2004 against President Aristide. Next slide, please. And this is not the victims. I know some people have been saying how revolutionary these guys are and trying to convince the world they are revolutionaries. No, they are not. And I will say that people who are saying that are allies of not only of these terrorist groups in Haiti, but also they are allies of the Haitian elite that has been funding them. And the Haitian elite funding these death squads is something that the UN itself has put out several reports about those, and has also named names of these people who are funding. The US, France, the US, Canada, the UN, even the Dominican Republic as well, have put out names of those people and have accused them of being directly responsible, even though many of us know that while they are denouncing them, they haven't taken any real action to make these people, to bring them to justice. But however, the documents are there, and it names very much. And this mother you are looking at in the photo, Elia Telemac, I believe she was 23 or 24 years old, from the Kinskoff area, neighborhood of Port-au-Prince, more in the hills. She had a 2-month-old baby. And those people, she was warning when they attacked her community, but she was caught with the baby. And I'm sorry to be so graphic, but the death squads demanded they had it was cold, because it's a little cold there in February in the mountains, and they demanded that she take her baby and throw the baby in the fire, in the bonfire they had made to warm themselves. And she refused despite the pressures. So one of those death squad people took the baby from her and threw the baby in the bonfire, and made her wife hear the baby screaming. So for 2 weeks after that, she wandered aimlessly until she was found on, I believe it was on, last year. It was Valentine's Day, February 14th, and she couldn't eat. She was just mumbling to herself, and she died from a broken heart. Imagine a young mother. Right. Next slide, please. I want to honor also these nuns. So many brothers and sisters in Haiti have been killed in these paramilitary death squads, who people like Kim Ives, Dan Cohen are praising as revolutionaries, and are making good people also say these things, but they're not true. These 2 nuns are people who are, and I'm very familiar not with these particular nuns, but with their congregation. Many of them have come to the Bay Area here in Oakland, where they have had a number of interactions with us in the Bay Area. They are engaged in agriculture, they are engaged in education. They were actually conducting an education seminar in Mirbalais when those paramilitary death squads attacked them. That's in the central area of Haiti. And they went to hide somewhere along with the attendees of the seminar, but they caught them and they massacred them. Now, 2 nuns, and all the people attending a seminar on education, how to bring more literacy to our people, and then they shoot them in cold blood. Next slide, please. We'll go very fast. I know in the interest of time, these are Despite all of this, Haitians are taking to the streets in protesting in record numbers. Let's go to the next slide. People are saying, stop supporting gangs in Haiti. This is a message to the US, to France and Canada, because they feel that they are the ones who are helping these folks getting the weapons into Haiti. Most of the weapons are making their way into Haiti from South Florida. This is according to the UN, various UN reports. Next slide, please. And this has resulted in the destruction of public services, a lot of starvation. These are mud cookies that are being made. These are mud that is, people add a little spice and they try to alleviate some of the hunger pangs that people are feeling. Next slide, please. And that has forced Haitians to flee Haiti, to come to the US, where they are, if you remember, this racist action under Biden by the Border Patrol whipping Haitians, pretty much similar to slave patrols. Next slide, please. And despite all of that, people in Haiti are very resolute. The campaign for restitution reparations continues very strongly. This is a banner that was put up, I believe, last year on President Aristide's birthday. And people are saying, happy birthday, President Aristide, all together, restitution and reparations. Next slide, please. And here in France, Haitians demonstrated, and they are saying that the Eiffel Tower is the property of Haiti, because it's been shown by a number of people working on this issue, that on the issue of restitution, that a lot of money that Haiti extorted from Haiti to France was invested in building the Eiffel Tower. So now it's no longer looking at just the 90 million gold francs. It's looking at what the money stolen from Haiti was invested in, and how it continues to bring in a lot of cash into the French treasury. So now people are calculating all of this, and I've had figures as much as France owing Haiti $115 billion based on a lot of new calculations out of this. Next slide, please. And these next slides are just, it's not just or these the terror that's taking place in Haiti, but how people are dealing with the terror. There are institutions. We, with the Haiti Emergency Relief Fund, we support grassroots organizations that are working to grassroots community schools, women farmers who are looking in local agriculture and what have you. This is actually a shot of at UNIFA, the UNIFA Teaching Hospital, or the clinic, mobile clinic. UNIFA is the University of the Dr. Aristide Foundation, UNIFA for short, and it's training younger Haitians into medicine, agriculture, nursing, architecture, physical therapy, quite a few disciplines as well. So in the interest of time, I'm moving forward here. Okay, so this is what this is all about, and I wanted to thank you, and we thank you for your solidarity. So sorry to have gone over time.
That's okay, Pierre. Thank you very much. We're going to take just a very short break now. I want to, and then we'll have a discussion. I just want to mention that next week, we are going to have Dan, which is November 16th, we're going to have Dan Kovalik speak on the history and current aggression of the US against Colombia and Venezuela. And again, on November 23rd, we'll have another speaker from South America on the war that the US has been waging already against the people of Venezuela. And that our speaker that on the 23rd will be Jesus Rodriguez Espinoza, who is the founder and editor of the English language Venezuelan anti-imperialist news outlet, Orinoco Tribune. We are planning to have a break and not have a program on November 30th, and we're working on programs now for December. So before we open up to everyone for Q&A and discussion, I'd like to ask Janet, do you have some brief comments?
Yes, thank you, Sharon. And thank you so much, Pierre, for this excellent presentation, and to ICSS for hosting it. I've wondered why Haiti always seems to get overlooked or gets short shrift from the left when it comes to the Caribbean, the North, South, and Central America. That said, a couple of years ago, I watched some interviews and some documentaries made by Kim Ives and Dan Cohn that, well, Pierre mentioned them. And they were about Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier. At the time, their narrative about him was very convincing to me, and apparently also to a number of other leftists and pundits like Chris Hedges. However, since learning about Pierre and his position on what's been going on in Haiti in more recent years, which is consistent with what he and the Haiti Action Committee have stood for over the decades. I wanted you to have a voice here today, Pierre. Now, since Al-Aqsa flood occurred on October 7th, there's been a great deal of exposure of how the American empire operates elsewhere in the world. And in rethinking how all that has how that has applied to Haiti, I wondered what is behind Kim Ives and Dan Cohn's support of Cherizier's claim that he is a revolutionary who will bring leadership to the Haitian people. And I also wondered where Cherizier gets his arms. Pierre, I'd like you to comment on that if you would. And finally, to me, there are many parallels between the struggles of the Haitian and the Palestinian people. I'd like you to comment on that, if you would, as well. Interesting that lavalas means flood. Also, the U.S. also wants to bring in a UN peacekeeping, a so-called stabilization force into Gaza through a UN Security Council resolution, like what was done in Haiti in 2005. I'll end there. Thank you.
Pierre, please
Thank you very much.
begin the discussion, and then I'll call on Marilyn next. And people should raise their hand. I'll try to keep it according to the order that I see people's hands raised. Please go ahead, Pierre.
Yes, I cannot say with certainty what's in the heart of Kim Ives or Dan Cohen, except what I can tell you is that their actions in support of these murderous actors, particularly not only Jimmy Cherizier, but also someone named Dimitri Erard. He was also someone who was trained by the U.S. In the school in Ecuador, in a military school in Ecuador, specialized training. Also, I can say that a number of these so-called gangs or paramilitary death squads have been formed by policemen trained again during the occupation of Haiti by the US occupation. They were trained by France, Canada, and they ended up creating gangs all over the country. And it appears that those gangs or paramilitary death squads, to be clear, they are connected with the Haitian government. It's not me saying it, because there are many reports by Justice Department in Haiti, by the UN, which shows how these people receive their weapons. The weapons mostly come from South Florida. They make their way into Haiti through the airport and the ports, The ports are mostly owned by or dominated by the Haitian ruling elite, and you hear of frequent shipments of weapons through these ports, and where they are not stopped. On the rare occasions that some of them have stopped, you will be surprised to hear, for example, the Episcopalian Church, big scandal in Haiti, was bringing a shipment supposedly of humanitarian goods, but it was weapons and ammunition. And you see these those young men, mostly young men, exhibiting those very powerful weapons, and they tell you, they make videos of themselves and put it out on social media and said, there is no way we could afford those guns. There is no way we could afford even one bullet of these guns, but they shoot them all the time, and they use them to terrorize the population. So I know that this work that was done by Kim Ives and Dan Cohen has spread to a lot of people in the left. And what it has created, Haitians are not fooled by it, because Haitians know very well what the deal is. But people outside of Haiti who don't know, who don't speak Creole, they assume that because you hear from these people who are on the left, that this is genuine leftists. Plus, you look at Cherizier, he's somebody who's well-schooled in quoting Malcolm X, in quoting Marx, or makes reference to Fidel Castro. So it's part of the disinformation campaign that shows, we experienced that under Papa Doc Duvalier too, back in the 60s, when he was saying, using the terminology of the Bandung Conference, the terminology of revolution, to confuse a lot of people. And so this is something similar that they are doing. I don't know if I touched on all the points of your question, or if I left something out.
The parallel between Haiti and Palestine, Gaza.
Oh, very clear, very clear. And I'm glad you raised that. And I want to raise the two brothers, Palestinian Haitians, Haitian Palestinian, however you want to put it, the Ismeri brothers, George and Antoine Ismeri. They were of Palestinian descent, born in Haiti, and very successful in the business world, but they understood and they threw their lot with the struggle of the Haitian masses to overturn the system of imperialism that was crushing the Haitian people. So George and Antoine, George was killed first in 1992 by the Haitian military, very obvious in front of everybody. They killed him, and he wasn't dead when they shot him. As he was leaving his business, he was killed right there. And the police came, the Haitian military at the time, the military was still there. They came and formed a cordon, making him bleed to death. He could have been saved. And then Antoine was killed just about a year later, maybe a few months later. And while he was attending a church service to honor people who had been killed in a massacre in a church where President Father Aristide at the time, in 1988, was conducting a church service. And close to 20, the numbers vary between 30 to 50 people, parishioners, were killed in the church. And so Antoine wanted to commemorate that 5 years later, and he was dragged out by the Haitian military and shot and killed right in broad daylight in front of everyone. People know because people saw who did it. And since that time, the UN has been to Haiti twice, and they have let the perpetrators go. So that refers to your question about the UN force, because the UN forces, as I mentioned earlier, they conducted several massacres in Haiti that have been recorded by their victims, and there are videos of that. And I mentioned the documentary by Kevin Pina, Haiti, We Must Kill the Bandits. I recommend that people take a look at it. And so to us, what Haiti is experiencing today is a direct result, not only of the US occupation in 1915, 1934, that set the stage for all of this, but also the reinforcement of this hegemony by the US, the dominance of the elite and US business enterprises, US multinationals, basically dominated multinationals, who are there imposing that terror on the Haitian people. So that's what we are saying today. That's a direct result of all of this. Let's stop right
Thank you, Pierre. I'm now going to call on Marilyn, followed by Kit and Jean. Go ahead, Marilyn.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Pierre. And just to say on Palestine, Pierre didn't have any photos, but the Haitians have been very, very supportive of the Palestinian movement today. You know, there are lots of demonstrations in support
Indeed.
of the people of Gaza. And before I ask my question, I do want to just put in a plug for Haiti Emergency Relief Fund. If any of the viewers of this program care to donate or find out more, please go to HaitiEmergencyRelief.org. So please check that out. Now, thank you, Pierre, also for pointing out the truth about the paramilitary death squads known as gangs. Most famous one called Vivre Ensemble, run by this guy, Cherizier. I mean, I know personally, one family I know, the daughter is a young mother and her brother lived in the very neighborhood where they are based and claimed to be doing community empowerment. Her brother was disappeared and killed. And that family was also living in a different neighborhood, were driven out of their homes by these death squads. So it's nothing but trouble. And I think it's important that people realize that. Pierre, the question I want to ask you is about what's going on now. I know the description of the program mentioned that there's no, the de facto government of Haiti really is these outside imperial forces. There have been no elected officials in the country for a few years now because there haven't been any elections. Could you say a word about this so-called transitional council? And is that any use? Is that helpful at all? Or is it just completely taken over by outside countries? And what movements are going on? What organizing is going on by people on the ground to resist that and to move to a place where they can get back into empowering themselves and running their own country?
Yes, what we are seeing is that this transition government has been more of the same. It was supposed to be, the idea was to have a transition government that would start paying attention to the needs of the people, not pay attention, but provide for the needs of the people. After all, the people in Haiti pay huge amounts of taxes. And so it's important that we had a government that would take that money and put it to people's use, invest in education, invest in healthcare, invest in local infrastructure, in roads, in cleaning up the streets, picking up garbage, something that basic, you know. So what happened, this is not what's happening. Actually, what they have done is they have subverted that idea. And you have, when I say they, let me be specific, the US, France, Canada mostly, along with the core group. The core group was set up in 2003 in Canada by the US under US leadership. And it was made of these 9 components, international entities that was mentioned earlier. And so that were mentioned earlier. So, and this group oversees everything that goes on in Haiti. So you hear about right now, there is this campaign to have elections and everything. The Haitian people said, forget it. Haiti is in disarray. You know, you have they have wrecked the place completely. In the Artibonite region, there are constant massacres taking place, where the peasants are chased away from their lands and their fields of rice are being slashed and being burned to the ground. Why is that taking place? It's to facilitate the people who control the import-export sector of Haiti. These are mostly the oligarch families, and they control that. And so they're able to have what you call it, complete monopoly over the rice production. They don't want any competition from local peasant farmers who are growing rice. It's been part of their tradition for centuries to grow rice. They are very, very good at doing that. So this is what's happening. And this government transition has betrayed the what you call the agreement, the accord that they had with the Haitian people to take Haiti from where it is, to break with this past and have a place for democracy, small d, meaning in all aspects of society. And so this is what we are dealing with. Actually, people in Haiti are saying that this government, a lot of its members are connected with the paramilitary death squads and are really financing them and are helping them. When we look at the police, the role of the police will mobilize quickly and have tremendous firepower against the population, which is demonstrating to demand security, to demand that they have a decent place, to demand protection from those death squads. And the police quickly mobilizes and are very brutal against them. But against the death squad themselves, they are very, you don't see that. Now, I have to qualify what I'm saying here. You have a number of police officers, men and women, who live in those communities and who unite with the community residents and form and resist the encroachment, the attacks from those death squads. But we can say that the overall, according to various Haitians who I speak with in Haiti, they say the leadership of the police is very much in cahoots with a lot of those paramilitary death squads. Similar in an arrangement, similar to what happened during Papa Doc's time, Papa Doc Duvalier and Baby Doc, and the Tonton Marcos.
Okay, next is Kit, followed by Eugene. Please unmute and go ahead, Kit.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Pierre. Let's see, I came in 10 minutes late on your talk, unfortunately. But I just have a couple of basic questions. And thank you, Marilyn, for bringing up it's the Haiti Emergency Relief.org. Can you put that in the chat? Anyway, how many Haitians are in the U.S. and in the Bay Area, and where are Haitians in the U.S. mostly located? Let's see. Also, I know there's a big difference between Haiti and the Dominican Republic. There's such a contrast between the two countries, even though they share the same island. I don't know if I missed this in your talk because I came in late, but can you talk a little bit about that contrast between the two? Because Haiti's in such dire situation compared to the Dominican Republic. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, and by the way, there is a. Oh, you're welcome. By the way, there is a slide that gives the email address. The last slide gives the email address of the Haiti Emergency Relief Fund and the Haiti Action Committee. So if that's possible.
We have it in the chat.
So, oh, okay, wonderful. Yes, we give with the Dominican Republic. One of the things is that after independence, the money that had to be paid to France, and it took, by the way, from 1825 until 1952 for Haiti to pay that money to the French. It wasn't just the 90 million francs, but it was the accrued interest because Haiti didn't have that money. And so Haiti had to borrow from at robbery interest rates from the French banks in order to pay the French government. So Haiti ended up owing the French banks. And later on, when the U.S. came in, the gold reserve of Haiti in 1914 was taken over by the U.S. Marines and brought to Citibank, which is now, I believe, Citigroup. And we had about $500,000 in gold that were stolen, that were robbed outright. This was in collusion with the Haitian government at the time. And the Marines stole it and brought it into the vaults of Citibank at the time. And this was a few months before the U.S. fully occupied Haiti. So this money has been sitting there. And I'm sorry, could you, the question, oh yes, with the Dominican Republic, that brings me to Haiti ended up having to pay this debt that impoverished Haiti. The Dominican Republic didn't have to do that. And also, because of the resistance of the Haitian people, Haiti was targeted. Racism plays a big role in that. Haiti was targeted significantly for, I don't want to use the term punishment, but Haiti, because it was considered such a beacon, and it always maintained this position of supporting people who were in struggle for their sovereignty, self-determination. So Haiti and the Haitian people's movement never backed down from this. This was made Haiti a particular target for destruction. So I don't want to go on too long, but we can talk about in more detail some other time.
Yeah. There was one other aspect to Kit's question, the number of Haitians who are in the United States. And I know many of them have temporary protective status, which is probably going away because Trump is taking away trying to destroy all temporary protective status groups. So can you just comment on the people here and what they face?
Yes, indeed. In mostly Haitians are located on the East Coast. On the West Coast, you find some here and there, not communities or neighborhoods like you find on places in the East Coast. And there was the Trump administration had ended prematurely the TPS that was granted to Haitians. They had it until February 2026. They had revoked it, but then a judge, I believe, in New York had made a ruling to restore that. So right now, that's what it is. But when you look at Haiti today, Haiti, really, Haitians need temporary protected status. Look, we had a devastating coup d'etat that killed over 10,000 people, caused that we are talking 2004, caused massive disruption. Then we had monstrous hurricanes that hit the land during that period. Then 2010, we had a tremendous earthquake that displaced over 1.5 million people, and 300,000 people were killed, destroying buildings and infrastructure. A lot of that was not rebuilt because the money from the Clinton Bush Foundation has disappeared. $13 billion, maybe more, completely vanished, and with no accounting whatsoever. Then in 2021, there was another massive earthquake that devastated the South. 2016, monstrous hurricanes devastated the South. So we are talking about more and more hits, and recently Melissa has just caused much devastation, not only in the South, also already hit, but in a number of places. And so what we have is an economy that's wrecked by natural disasters, but more particularly by man-made disasters, human-made disasters, such as what people call the hurricane called Vivre Ensemble, the paramilitary death squad hurricane that is destroying housing, hospitals, schools, where the people are left basically outdoors when the hurricane hit. And so in many of these areas, and so the population really needs support and assistance. And as Marilyn said, people can go to HaitiEmergencyRelief.org, and you can see our website, see what we do and how we support our people, the solidarity we bring to our people.
Thank you. Eugene, please unmute. The floor is yours.
Yes, I'm unmuted. Okay, well, thanks, Pierre. This was a great talk. And thanks my comrades on the planning committee for bringing you here. This is just wonderful. And I'm a member of Veterans for Peace, which is a educational humanitarian organization dedicated to the abolishment of war. And of course, that means trying to stop U.S. imperialism from intervening directly or indirectly. And we do pass resolutions, and I think we do have a resolution on Haiti, but it's probably a little bit old, and we need to take a look at it and update it to keep these things up to date. My comment is, you did mention that the first foreign aid of the United States government was when Thomas Jefferson sent aid to the slave owners of Haiti to help them put down that rebellion. And also you mentioned that
yes,
the Haitians did gain their freedom. I think France and the United States both, I think, demand that they pay reparations to the slave owners, because their property was unjustly, they say, taken away from them. But I know in comparison, I forget which amendment, 13th or 14th, which freed slaves here in the United States, which was very important, but they specifically said no reparations to slave owners, which is very, very crucial. And I think there was also a movement to give all slaves 40 acres and a mule, but I'm not sure how widely that was taken up. But I just wonder if you, again, thanks for your comments, and this is really a great talk. And I'd like to add your comments on this no reparations for slave owners and, support for slaves, freed slaves. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. No, thank you very much. I appreciate your questions and the comments that you've made. Thank you. Yes, and this movement, and that's why we say that the movement in Haiti today is a movement to complete the Haitian Revolution. Our foremothers and forefathers, when they fought, and their vision was one of an egalitarian society. And this is why one of the mottos of Haiti, of the movement, is liberté, égalité, fraternité. Liberty, equality, and fraternity, or brotherhood, and we can say sisterhood. And so, and this was the equality part was never really came to be, because let's face it, there is a minority that had the support of the former French plantation slave owners, and that minority wanted to continue the colonial system. So the people, the masses in Haiti said, no, we are not trading slave owners with white skin for slave owners with black skins. And so there was, during the period following independence, this struggle for land reform, basically 40 acres and a mule, land reform, and that struggle was taking place. And that's when the US invaded, because at the time, it appeared that the forces of the masses of our people was about to take power and would institute those reforms. And that was under the leadership of Rosalvo Bobo. And the US came in and really removed Rosalvo Bobo from the scene. He wasn't president yet, but he was slated to be the next president, who would actually give voice or give and actually implement those demands of the Haitian people. And so it restored the elitists, the elite, back in their position of power, and carried out a war to exterminate the people's movement. And so you're correct. And today, the people in Tibonite, the peasants who are being chased off their land, when President Aristide came to power, land reform was taking place, and a number of peasant families were receiving land from the government of Haiti. And so what's happening now is that many of the families are being chased off their lands are being destroyed, they are being killed, they are being gang raped. Actually, many women are being gang raped, and this is used as a weapon of terror. Many families have their family members who are being kidnapped, and ransom demanded, astronomical, as a further way of impoverishing the Haitian families. And so what you are saying is it's all of this is taking place to prevent the popular movement called Lavalas from actually to turn them away from the movement that they are doing to complete the Haitian Revolution. What it means is education for all, healthcare for all, roads, clean drinking water for the population. This is what the movement is fighting for. And people in Haiti continue to believe very much strongly in what Famille Lavalas had proposed in its program, Investir dans l'humain, investing in people, where they laid out a beautiful program of how the country could rebuild itself using the resources of Haiti, using the tax money that's being paid by the population. And so they don't want that to happen.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're getting close to the end of the program. I'm going to call on Raj and then N, and then ask Pierre just to give some final thoughts. Go ahead, Raj.
Thank you, Pierre, for a very informative talk. I have two quick questions. One is, what happened to Aristide? He was, I think, abducted and taken to some other country in Africa. So What about him? Is he alive? So that's something I want to know. And secondly, does the struggle of Haiti against colonialism, this is the history of the world, is history of slavery and colonialism. I come from India, same thing. So is any Asian large country or Russia, what is their position vis-a-vis the struggle in Haiti? China, India, Russia, all these three countries, or any other that is supportive of this struggle, which I think should be the highest duty of all humanity. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you for your question. Yes, President Aristide is in 2011, after a 7-year exile. And I should say that the coup d'etat of 2004 took place on the bicentennial year of the Haitian Revolution. You see how these evil folks are thinking, and they killed a lot of our people in a year when we were celebrating the anniversary of this momentous event in world history, when the downtrodden overturned the system. And so President Aristide was in exile for 7 years, South Africa. He returned in 2011, and he vowed that he would rebuild the university that he and his wife Mildred had founded in 2001, 2002, I believe. I visited it at the time. And that was with the help of, there were a number of Cuban teachers who were there at the university as well. I have to give Cuba its props there as well. So, but the university was taken over during the coup by the US Marines and by the UN under the control of the Brazilian general from Lula administration. And so the university was destroyed. Even the wiring was missing. They stole everything. And so when President Aristide returned, he vowed to reopen the university in September 2011, and he did. And it started with 122 students, 61 young men, 61 young women. Contrary, the importance of this university is that the students were taken from families that were very poor and wouldn't be able to afford the regular universities. And so now the university has grown to about 4,200 students, despite all of the difficulties that are taking place in Haiti, and has 9 different programs. So in the interest of time, I'll fast forward. So, and it has formed thousands of students that it has graduated. And many of these students are working in their fields where they are providing valuable assistance to the Haitian population. So President Aristide is there. He has that. One of the big things there is a farm that was created. In terms of the big countries that you mentioned, Haiti, I guess, is not on their radar. And Haiti is usually used as a prop, let's say, when they want to attack the US, they will use that and say, well, what about what you guys are doing in Haiti? But you can see that Haiti is not something that they really put attention on to support the the Haitian people in this dire moment of our existence as a nation.
Thank you.
That's my.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Anne, did you want to speak?
Very briefly, to say thank you very much for all your support for ICSS.
Oh,
and to say that go. No.
I think we had one more question. Pierre, I'm sorry. We had one more person who had their hand was in the queue. So I'm going to call on Anne and then ask you for wrap up. Anne, go ahead.
Thank you. So just as the United States imperialists have been at war against the Russian Revolution, the Soviet Union, and Russia today for 108 years, the US and French colonialists and French imperialism and US imperialism have been at war against the Haitian Revolution for 220 plus years. But it was not always united. In 1898, and this is ironic in a way because Trump, when he was talking about the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, referred to the 1898 Alien Act, which was part of the Alien and Sedition Acts under the Adams administration. Those acts were actually directed at French nationals who were trying to use U.S. territory to reverse the Haitian Revolution. They were using just as Southern Florida has been used against the Cuban Revolution and also against the Haitian people in recent years. The United States was being used as a base to conduct counter-revolution in Haiti all the way back in the 1890s. So it's not different. I mean, that's been going on for the two and a quarter centuries. And I'm glad you brought up Jefferson, because Jefferson was the prince of the slaveocracy in the United States and also supported the French counter-revolution in Haiti. And U.S. communists and socialists and historians, Marxist historians, have been quite confused about the role of Jefferson. And okay, I'm going to leave that for there and ask you about a couple of things. One is, my understanding is that Kenya has agreed to send troops on behalf of supposedly the UN, but it's actually US imperialism, to Haiti in this recent period. And I'm wondering if you could comment on that. And also, if there's any kind of relationship between the AES countries, the Alliance of Sahel States, that's Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and the ongoing People's Revolution in Haiti. Thank you.
Okay, that's the last question. And then, so if you could address that, Pierre, and then anything you want to say to wrap up.
Yes. Oh, for some reason, my camera just goes off. Okay. I turn it on, but it's all right. Oh, no, it's not.
You're back now.
Okay, so oh, good. Thank you, thank you. So, what I wanted to say is, yeah, thank you for your question. In terms of the Kenya, the mission of Kenya to Haiti, totally, I would have a lot of respect. Some of the Kenyans lost their lives, so when people lose their lives, it's always a tragedy. So, so hats off to the Kenyans. My sympathy, my condolences to their families. It's a painful thing when they lose their lives. But Kenya is being made a pawn, basically, of U.S. foreign policy in Haiti, of the UN. It hasn't been a serious endeavor. When you compare that to how the Cuban army went and supported the people of Southern Africa who were fighting against the apartheid regime, but also the colonial regime, it was very clear where they stood and the actions that were taken and the results that were achieved. So Haitians compare that a lot, and they see a lot of the stuff look, let's face it, these guys do not really represent a force that could stand up to a population that is totally opposed to them. And also, if you have countries such as big powers like the US, France, and Canada, and all of them saying how opposed they are to those so-called gangs, right, as they call them, then it shouldn't be a problem that would be need to talk about. Also, Haitians have remarked that there is a $5 million reward on Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier by the Trump administration. People laugh at this. And it's been, what, 2 months ago? And it doesn't take that, really, from the US to achieve results in Haiti. That's, again, people are not buying this. Also, as I mentioned earlier, when you have these foreign troops in Haiti, they haven't done anything to bring forth. As a matter of fact, before they were there, when Haitians were controlling Haiti, under President Aristide, the Lavalas movement, during those 10 years of democracy, Haiti had elections that truly reflected the popular will. But ever since the 2004 coup, elections organized by the UN and the US have been just atrocious and fraudulent to the hilt. I was present at one of these elections and saw it and wrote a report about it. So basically, this is the situation. I don't know if I missed part of your question, but this is a big farce. And you are going to say something, Cheryl?
No, you didn't miss the question. Please,
Okay.
please say
So-
some closing remarks.
So I wanted to, again,
He also asked about the Sahel.
oh, yes, the Sahel. We've heard that people in the Sahel countries are making very good statements about Haiti because people look at the Haitian Revolution and what it accomplished, and people are in touch with Haitian people and they know where our sentiments are, that we are for self-determination. That's what our struggle is all about. The very same struggle as the people in the countries of the Sahel and all over Africa are demanding, and all over the world, basically, in Palestine and everywhere, people are demanding their right to self-determination. People are opposed to the idea that somebody can say, well, I like the resources of your country and I'm going to take them over because I happen to have the might. This is not international law, and this is not where we should be in 2025. And so we have heard statements that are very encouraging from the Sahel, different African countries, also people from South America, from the Americas, the US, the Bay Area. That solidarity is very, very key, not only to Haiti, but also to each other, to all of us who are in struggle against this monstrous system that is destroying humanity. So I want to urge people to be in solidarity with Haiti as we are in solidarity with each other. And we in Haiti will continue to be in solidarity with peoples all over the world because it's in our DNA as a nation, the collective DNA of the nation of Haiti, but it's also in the DNA of each individual Haitian. So stop right there.
Thank you very much.
HaitiEmergencyRelief.org. Thank you.
Right, we had that in the chat. People can copy the chat by going to the 3 dots at the top. Can we please stop the recording now?